Yeah, so they sometimes want to directly jump to the Raganuga Bhakti. There are people who, even during Prabhupada times also, some of the devotees, they got carried away. They went to Vrindavan, Radhakund, and they met some Babajis. And those Babajis told them that, why you are doing all this, getting your unnecessary time spending in traveling here, there, preaching and all. You can actually just think about your Siddha Swarup, or the Swarup, which the constitutional position that you have in Vrindavan, and I can tell you what is your constitutional position. You just follow that, and that's it. You practice it and you go back to God. So basically, one Babaji told that you are a peacock in the spiritual world, and that devotee actually started acting like a peacock, moving his head backward and forward, and he started thinking that I am peacock in spiritual world. So Prabhupada said, "Oh, this is all bogus, because till now you are not purified yourself. How can you get to know your Swarupa? Swarupa is not revealed in such way. Actually, one has to practice for a prolonged period of time, and when one gets completely purified, then Lord will reveal the actual Swarupa of a living entity. So this is the artificial method. So that's how many people get cheated. They directly want to jump to the spontaneous love of Godhead. There are that's why there is a Gopi Bhav club is also there. People want to become imitate the gopis. They think that, oh, we are gopis in Vrindavan. Let us go and stay in Vrindavan like that. So here Prabhupada is clarifying that here he's saying that after taking to devotional service under regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of God. So after taking to, that means Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is compulsory. After this only one can come to Raganuga Bhakti, that is spontaneous love. So spontaneously you cannot come to spontaneous love. It has to through regulative principles following, then through the mercy by following the instruction of the spiritual master, then one will actually get love of Godhead. And after reaching, and here Prabhupada is saying also, following in the footsteps of great devotees like Narada, Sanaka, Sanatan. So we see Narad Muni also. Narad Muni did not become Narad Muni directly. He also had to undergo regulative principles. So anyone knows what was the first birth of, or who was Narad Muni in his previous births?
Narada boy, Gandhar.
Yeah, correct. Narada Bhava and Gandharva both. So previously was Gandharva, he used to sing and all, but then he got a curse by some sages, and then he became Narada boy. He was told that you become a son of a maid servant, Shudrani. So then he took birth in that, and after getting birth in that, actually what he did is he got the association of Bhakti Vedantas. 7 days or some particular number of days he was serving them, because mother could not serve directly because she was woman. So the son used to go give them prasadam. He sometimes used to sit there and hear Krishna Katha, and sometimes he used to take the remnants of their food stuff. That's how he got purified, and his devotional service became so intensified. And later his mother also left. Then he was all alone, and he completely kept himself, completely dedicated himself to remembering the Lord. And it is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read this section of Narada boy, actually every day, every step by step, all the basically is Ado Shraddha. No? We say that the stages of devotional service, the where stages of bhakti, Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Asakti, Ruchi, Bhava, Prem. So actually he went all through all this. He got Ado Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, he got the association of sages, and then Sadhu Sangha, Tatha Bhajan Kriya started, and that's how Nishta came, Anartha Nivritti, all his anathas went away. Then he even had tears in his eyes. He started remembering the Lord, crying tears for the Lord in separation, and then one day, of course, Lord, he got the darshan of the Lord also. So in this way, he actually went through all the regulative principles, and finally he reached spontaneous love of God. And now we see that Narada Muni bhajai vina Radhika Ramana name. So Narada Muni goes all over the world and is chanting the name of Radhika Raman. So he's always chanting, and he's seeing which are living entities are actually in suffering. And he has delivered so many devotees from Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj to so many this Prachina Parishad. The dynasties after dynasties he has delivered. Even the Hareshvas, Shabalashvas, sons of Daksha Prajapati. So like that, so many are being. Uh, is Kuldeep Ru is asking. Narad Muni is eternally present in spiritual world. Nitya Siddha. How to understand his Gandharva and maidservant son's birth? Yeah, so it is said that initially he was uh, into this, but when he became Narad Muni, actually there will be some people who will be eternally the associates of the Lord. They may never fall and all. But here, in terms of Narad Muni in scriptures, it is mentioned that he was Gandharva, then he became Narad boy, then he actually became Narad Muni. So in that way, and so in this is what is given in the scriptures. So whether Nitya Siddha or not, but now he has become Nitya Siddha. Now he is in such a position that he will never fall down. He can go anywhere. He is delivering the fallen people, and he can go anywhere. He can go to Vaikuntha Loka. He can come to earthly planets. He travels all over the world. So now he can is a Nitya Siddha in that way. So this is how we have to follow the footsteps of great devotees like Narada, Sanaka, and Sanatana. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of God are certainly in an exalted position. So we have to reach to this particular platform. Yes, next, Abhinav Prabhu. Next paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that in one sense, they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, all of the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis, are most exalted. And out of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings.
Yeah, so gopis are recognized as superior. It's not just there is a qualification required. Why they are superior is because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna. They don't know anything else. They know only about Krishna. Nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. So there is no expectation of any return. Whether you like in the Chaitanya Shikshashtakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually in the mood of Srimati Radharani and gopis. And if you see the Shikshashtakam verses, Ashlishyava Padarata Pinashtumam, so there he says that even if Krishna kicks me, then still I will not leave him, it is said. So that kind of attachment, that kind of, even Krishna puts me in a very difficult situation, challenging situation, gives lot of troubles in my life, still I will not leave him. That is actually our the position of the gopis. In current scenario, if little difficulties come, people give up Krishna only. So instead of because they think that how can I'm doing so much for Krishna and Lord is doing all these difficulties He is putting in my life, I give him up. So that's what people do. So basically, they don't have any faith. Uh, their faith is what we say. It is based on what I can get from Krishna. If Krishna gives me happiness in my life, all the difficulties are gone, then I can worship Him. If He gives me difficulties, then I don't worship Him. Then I will worship my own mind or ego or whatever. So that is how we see that faith. The faith goes. Our faith is not like this. You know? Our faith is very tender, and that's why it has to be protected. And when we read such glories of the gopis and even Prahlad Maharaj, such kind of faith he had. When even this I hope all of you must have seen this Narsimha movie which had come. So there also many devotees were sharing that particular pastime uh, where Prahlad Maharaj was about to be thrown from the. So he was being saved by Narsimha Dev many times when he was put into different situations where he was about to die. Means the Hiranyakashipu had told his servants and all to make him kill him. So that time, when they were wanted to throw him from the mountain, that time this what do you say? Those servants, they said that what if Krishna doesn't come? Lord doesn't come and save you. What he will do? Said if Krishna wants to save, he can save. If he doesn't want, basically Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. That means if Krishna wants to kill, then who can save? And if Krishna wants to save, then who can kill? So whatever he wants to do, he can do it. I don't. So that kind of faith he had. If Krishna saves me, also I have faith. If Krishna does not save me, still he is my Lord. So that kind of faith is uh, very much required, and that's why these pure devotees are not just pure devotees by name, but they have done all these regulative principles, and they have such kind of faith, and that's why they are into this position. So sometimes Krishna puts them, that means gopis, into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. So for them, Krishna is like life. Like some in this world we get attached to so many things. Sometimes people are attached to the even the mobiles, laptops, or so many things in there. Little bit something happens, so much anxiety, trouble goes. Like one person was there, his vehicle was hit by another vehicle. Almost a week he spent about that only. One day he couldn't sleep because he said scratch. He went to the police station and so many things happened. Whole day he dedicated only for that little scratch on the car. And then other days also he was trying to go to the garage, repair it, and so much. So this is how the material attachment. So similarly, the spiritual attachment also causes this kind of anxiety, but that elevates us. This material anxiety actually degrades us, but spiritual anxiety, little bit Krishna goes away, they feel it is such a big punishment for them. Krishna going away uh, from their what do you say from their eyes. Like in that's why Gopi Gitam is very wonderful. Like it is said no in Gopi Gitam. Gopi Gitam is there. अटति यद्भवान् अहनिकाननं त्रुटियुगायते त्वामपश्यताम्. So here it said that atati yad bhavan ahani kananam truti yugayate. Truti means yuga. Basically, atati yad bhavan ahani kananam. So they are saying that the eyes, this eyelids, it's always blinking in between. So for us, we don't even understand also when it is blinking and when it because it is such a small moment that we are able to see constantly. But for them, when they want to see Krishna, they say that this foolish Brahma, such a foolish creator, he has created this eyelids, and because of it's blinking also. What is this? We want to see Krishna constantly without any blinking and all, but because of this blink, it is becoming an hindrance to see or take darshan of the Lord. So for them, this small fragment of separation is also feeling such a uh, great. And they are telling that one moment of separation, Truti Yugayate, it looks like a millennium for us. Little bit if Krishna goes away from their sight, then it's like a Yuga Itam Nimeshena. So it's yugas have passed, it's like that. That kind of painful situation comes for them. For us, it is like we go to sleep in maybe 24 hours, other in chanting also sometimes we may forget and think something else. But for them, everything they think, they actually remember Krishna only. And in our case, while remembering Krishna, we remember something else only. So that is how the devotion of the gopis. Yeah. Even this Gopi Gitam is one of my favorite song. It's actually when you recite this song also, no? Gopi Gitam, so many verses are there. It comes in Bhagavatam, I think 11th canto, 31st verse, 31st chapter. Entire chapter is dedicated to Gopi Gitam. So 10th canto or 11th canto, it comes in that. So yeah, it's 10th canto, chapter 31. So 10th canto it comes. So there actually, so they have such kind of love, and when we, and that's why Prabhupada is saying that sometimes Krishna puts them in extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, the Gopi became dejected. The gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation of Krishna. People in this world also cry when their near and dear one is gone, but that crying is only for like somebody's near person is died. She may be, of course, painful situation is there. 1 day, 2 day, after a week, they may even the pain will not be so much after a week. After a year, the pain reduces even more. And after 5 years, people even forget also what is going on and all. Like Raishampuru said that when he joined ashram, his parents were very much pushing him, and they were very much saying that, oh, what will happen to us and this and that. And Prabhuji said, Prabhuji didn't much. Prabhuji tried to convince them, and finally he went from there. So next time he went home after a year or so, then he saw that his father was watching TV. Yeah, father, mother, they were watching TV, and then that time Prabhu was saying, oh, I thought they will be in the separation, feeling of separation, thinking what we will do, crying and all. But now they have forgotten that particular position. Of course, later his parents became wonderful devotees. Yes, all sisters got initiated also. So, but initially when Shampru joined, that time there was a lot of struggle from the parents and all. So this is how we see that in this world, uh, these kind of situations come. Okay. So, so we also cry, but our crying is for something else. Here, gopis are crying in separation from Krishna. And in this world, the separation is only for a momentary separation. People feel painful or they cry also. Later on, they sometimes the same crying. Today they are crying for each other. Tomorrow they may be angry on each other. Such kind of is there. So that's why in this world there is no pure love. The pure love exists only in the spiritual world. So there is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Yeah, this is very important. This is especially important for us actually. Yeah. Why? Because we may not be able to directly associate with him. Of course, we associate in terms of service, offering, and other things. But it said there is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. So when you are thinking of Krishna, that is actually like associating with Krishna. Like that is how the chanting of the holy name is so much important. When you chant the holy name, it is said Lord is there with you, and you can think of him. You can. He's always and Krishna has a unique relationship with each person. Like 10 people are chanting in one room, one may say, oh, 10 people are chanting. Krishna may be busy in one who is that side, sitting closer to Krishna. Maybe Krishna is looking at him only. No, when all 10 are chanting, Krishna is with all the 10 devotees. Whoever is chanting attentively is there with them. Whoever is chanting not attentively, then maybe Krishna may leave them. That may happen. So, but Krishna reciprocates according to the devotee's devotion. So, if our devotion is there, if somebody wants to think of Krishna, remember him, Krishna gives himself completely. So, that is how there is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation, is far better than serving him directly. Yeah, this is so some. Like when we had in Columbus, one devotee is there. We went to his home. So when I went to his home, he was telling that his Holiness Radhanath Maharaj came many times to his home. Even whenever he comes to Columbus, he stayed at their home. So I was saying that, oh, Prabhu, you are so fortunate You are getting regular association. Maharaj has come here and so many times and like that. So next day when we were taking prasadam, he actually told me that you share something about Maharaj. I said, what I will tell you, are getting such personal association. He said, that's the problem. He said, because we are getting so much association, so I am not able to feel the kind of, what we say, the separation or the desperate eagerness which all of you are having. He said that I see that many devotees, they when Maharaj gives class, they are running to actually attend the class and so eager to hear and all. Then I said, yes, whenever Maharaj comes, he gives class in Chowpatty. We take a train in Pune. We have even traveled in the night also. Midnight also we have traveled just to attend the class of Maharaj. So that time, and sometimes the class is at 8 o'clock. Devotees start because the temple hall is very small in Chowpatty. Devotees start. They go at 4:30. Sometimes in Tulsi Aarti only they sit down, and then they will directly get up at after the class only. Because if they don't, if they get up, then the place is gone. That is how even the class is at 8 o'clock. They have to secure the place from 5 o'clock only. So that kind of. So then he was telling that, oh, so then I understood this particular thing, that sometimes separation is better than directly serving also. Yeah, thinking of Vipralamba Bhav, that's why it is very much, what we say, Vipralamba Seva. Thinking of Krishna in separation is far better than serving Krishna directly. And thus, of all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted, and out of all the exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest, and no one can excel Srimati Radharani. Okay, next verse. Agampru. Next paragraph. Agampru. Abhishek Pru.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, in this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is most exalted devotee of Krishna and that her Kunda lake, Sri Radha Kunda, is most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Laghu Bhaga,
Bhagavatamrit.
Bhagavatamrit, Uttarakhanda 45, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrit. यथा राधा प्रिया विष्णोस् तस्या कुंडम प्रियम तथा सर्वा गोपीषु सैविका विष्णोर अत्यंता वल्लभा. Thus as Srimati Radharani is dear to Supreme Lord Krishna Vishnu, so her bathing place Radha Kunda is equally dear to Krishna. Among all gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha Kunda and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Upadeshamrita.
Yeah. So in this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes. So you see how he started, even in this verse also, he told gradual elevation, karma kandis, karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, pure devotees, and then Srimati Radharani, gopis, and then Radharani. So this is how he concludes this. Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna, and her Kund, Radha Kund, is even most exalted. Yeah. So, and therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radha Kund and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami. Hare Krishna. So, this is how we have completed the 10th verse of Nectar of Instruction. Anyone has any questions? Or, yeah. Else we will just start little bit of the 11th verse. 11th verse is quite small, only this
So
much.
there was this question
Yes.
I want ask. Uh, so, like, although this verse clarifies a lot of the part of the question that how serving in Vipralambha is better than serving Krishna directly, a question had popped up in my mind few days ago that Krishna keeps his promises for his devotees, and gopis are the highest of the devotees. However, Krishna, when he was leaving Vrindavan, he had promised that he'll return to Vrindavan. From one angle, he never left Vrindavan, but but he promised, in that sense, he promised that he will come back to Vrindavan. But then he never did, like that. So I just wanted to understand this, that if he's not fulfilling the promise of gopis, what hope we have? Like that, a
No,
question
he's not
came.
fulfilling the promise, his own promise. He says that I will come back, but he doesn't come back. But actually, he fulfills the promise of his devotees. That's what in Bhagavad Gita also, he says also, no, in Mahabharata also, he says that I will not lift any weapon. But finally, Krishna lifts the weapon. One may say, how is it Krishna? How can Krishna lift the weapon? He has already taken the vow that he will not lift. Why? Because Bhishma actually had another. Bhishma wanted to see Krishna into that form, Virya Rasa, where he's coming to attack with the will. So that's why, because Bhishma desired that, so Krishna says, okay, let my promise be gone, but I will fulfill the promise of my devotees. So Krishna says that, and that's why Bhagavad Gita there is one, Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhaktya Pranashyati. That is one verse, and Krishna tells to Arjuna that declare, O Arjuna, declare to everyone that Kaunteya Pratijani Name Bhaktya Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. So Krishna says that I cannot promise because I am known for breaking the promises. Yeah, I break the promise of gopis and I have broken so many promises. Not gopis, I have broken my own promises to them. But when my devotee promise something, that promise I will not. So that's why you declare to the world that my devotee will never perish. So because you declare, then I have to do that. So that's how Krishna is. So Krishna may go away with his own promise, but when it comes to his devotees, he will fulfill that. So that's what is given in the Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna says also. O Arjuna, declare boldly that my devotees will never perish. So, because if Krishna says that my devotee will never perish, people will be little doubtful. Oh, really, whether Krishna will protect them or not. But when the devotee promises, declares, he says that no, Krishna is going to do it. Then Krishna has to fulfill. Krishna doesn't have any other, what we say, opinion like that. And in another way, as you said, Krishna actually never left Vrindavan. It is said Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Krishna always remains in Vrindavan. Actually, there are two Krishnas. One is Vrindavan Krishna, who never leaves Vrindavan, and there is Vasudev Krishna, who actually is there in the Dwarka and Hastinapur and all other things he does. So there is a Dwarkadish or Vasudev Krishna and Vrindavan Krishna. So these are the two, because Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So he expands himself into different forms to do the pastimes like that. Is it clear?
Okay, yes, it makes sense. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just we will recite, I think, the next shloka, and maybe the discussion we will take in the next class. Oh, this verse is little tough to recite. Krishna soche pranayavasti preyasiभ्योऽपि राधा कुण्डं चास्य मुनिभिरभितस्तदृक् एव व्यधायि यत्प्रेष्टैरपि अलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजं तत्प्रेमेदं सकृतम् अपि सर स्मातुरविष्करोति. Yes, Kuldipru translation.
Yes. Of the many objects of ever delight and of the lovable damsels of Rajamuni, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radhakund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once in those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused.
Yeah. So same thing again here it is. Srimati Radharani is the most treasured object of Krishna's love. Her divine kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him and rarely attained by even great devotees. If one simply bathes once within these holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. But then Srila Prabhupada has told at least ISKCON devotees we don't take bath in Radha Kund. We take bath like a short bath. Just take few drops of Radha Kund and we can sprinkle on our head. That we do. But we don't directly enter into the Radha Kund because it is such a sacred place. So it is not proper to put our feet in the Radha Kund. So that's why Prabhupada has told us not to take bath in Radha Kund. And that's how we, I think, feeling in what is separation, then we can more value the Radha Kund. Otherwise, people just take bath and they may take it cheaply, and that's what it happened also. Actually, in Prabhupada times, once Prabhupada had taken devotees to Radha Kund, and some of the devotees taking bath, they became little playful, and they started putting water, splashing water on each other. And then Prabhupada, when he saw this, Prabhupada understood that if devotees do such kind of activity, then they will commit offense in Radha Kund. And that's why Prabhupada said that we should not take bath in Radha Kund. So we just take, generally we do Achman, we take the water and we can drink a little water and sprinkle the water on our head. So that is also as good as taking bath only. If somebody is not able to physically take bath, he can just sprinkle the water and that also is considered as taking bath. So we can do that, because if one gets into taking bath, then one may get, because of his nature, one may commit an offense. So that's why Prabhupada has restricted us. Okay, 2 verses are only there. Can we finish reading both the verses?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yes, Sagar Prabhu, you can read. Okay, Pranav Prabhu.
No problem.
Yes.
This part 4 here.
Prabhuji, actually, I'm in traveling, so unable to read.
Okay, no problem. Pranav Prabhu can read.
Yes. Part 4. Why is Radha Kunda so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is the most beloved object of Sri Krishna. Among all the gopis, she is the most beloved. Similarly, her lake, Sri Radha Kunda, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kunda and Srimati Radharani is the same in all respects. Radha Kunda is very rarely attained even by great personalities fully engaged in devotion service. Not speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in practice of Vaidhi Bhakti.
Yeah, it's very. What to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in practice of Vaidhi Bhakti? That means all of us. Yeah, it's very rarely attained. So that's why we have to what we say. We have to remember. So whenever we go to this place, we should pray to Radharani in this mood, and that's how we can get the blessings. And of course, whenever we come other place also, we can always remember the Radha Kund. By remembering, we get the same benefit of actually visiting Radha Kund also. Yes, Dhruv Prabhu.
It is
Yeah.
stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he once takes a bath in Radha Kund. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kund, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is a most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends Sakis and confidential serving maids Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Golok Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual bodies, Siddha Deha, should live at Radha Kund, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and under their direction engage constantly in her service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that even great sages and great devotees like Narad and Sanak do not get an opportunity to come to Radhakund to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to Radhakund and bath even once, he can develop his transcendental love of Krishna, exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radhakund and should be absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radhakund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radhakund and to bathe there daily constitute the highest perfection of devotional service. It is a difficult position to attain, even for great sages and devotees like Narad. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radhakund. By serving Radhakund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis.
Yeah. By serving Radhakund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani under the eternal guidance of the gopis. So there is also one, I think, one pastime of in the Radhakund only it happened. When Srimati Radharani, there was one, I don't know, one small bird or something, or a squirrel, I think. Yeah, there is a pastime which comes. That squirrel was there, and Radharani actually took care of. I'm not exactly remembering that pastime. Anyone knows? On the bank of Radhakund, this pastime happened. Okay, we'll tell you when I get it. I heard that even that particular squirrel takes the form of gopi because uh, because of by mercy of Srimati Radharani. So this is how we see that. So whenever we get opportunity, whenever we go to Vrindavan, we should never miss to go to Radhakund. That's very, very important. So especially Radhakund, some of you are coming to Govardhan Kartik Yatra also. So there we will visit this place. Yatra is in Govardhan only. So visiting Radhakund is very important. There are some devotees who go every day to Radhakund. Whenever they are in Vrindavan, every day they will go and visit. Like our Krishnanand Prabhu is there. He goes there and he chants 64 rounds or sometimes even more. And he sits there on the bank of Radhakund and chants as many. So at least we may not be able to do the entire life, but whatever, and it's not possible also for us in our current situation. We are having so many other things, and of course we are into, but we can't, we are not in that level that we leave everything and just sit in Radhakund and do. But at least whenever we go, that time at least we should spend as much time as possible. And of course we should go in association of devotees, not just alone. Otherwise our mind will wander, we will see here there some faults and we'll come back. So best is go with some devotees, chant with them in the bank of Radhakund, pray to the Srimati Radharani that I am not so qualified that I can daily come here and live in the bank of Radhakund and take bath and all. But but the holy name we have got, and I want to chant it every day by taking your holy names. Hare Krishna is actually Radha Krishna, and taking the name of Radha Krishna. And in that mode, we should chant the holy name on the bank of Radhakund as many rounds as possible. And that's how and in the bank of Radhakund also, you will see many of the samadhis of many Goswamis. There is a temple, Raghunath Das Goswami, and many of the Goswamis, even the above Goswami also, there were some more people, acharyas, so their samadhis are also there. So in that way, it's a very exalted place. We should also do parikrama of the Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. So that is, of course, when you do Govardhan parikrama, in that way you complete parikrama of Radha Kund also. Okay, so we have successfully completed Nectar of Instruction, 11 verses. So I think few months almost we discussed about this 11 verses were written by Srila Rupa Goswami and the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. It was we have completed this verse. Only now we have to all the things. Some of the things we have applied also. Some more things are still remaining. It starts with Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. Yeah, all those verses. So we are like trying to do that also. Then Janasangasya Lolam Cha and so many verses we have completed. So some are for the Vaidhi Sadhaka Bhaktas. Some of the verses are for Vaidhi Sadhak Bhaktas, like our devotional service under regulatory principles. And some of the verses are for Raganuga Bhaktas. So we have to first go through the first verses of NY. When we cover all that, we become expert in all that, then we can actually come to this level also, 11th verse, where we can actually go to Radhakund and stay. But currently we are in the first verse only in terms of application. So we have to complete that and then we will be eligible to go ahead. Okay, so thank you all very much for, I think these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 devotees are consistently have come for all the 11 or most of the, I think 90-95% all of you have attended these sessions. Some of the devotees came initially, in between they got somewhere, but all of you are persisted throughout the reading, so you will surely get the best benefit of this. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Puji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Srila
Thank
Prabhupada
you,
ki,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki,
Jai.
Jai.
Shrimati Radha Rani ki, Shri Radha
Jai.
Kund ki, Govardhan Dham ki.
Jai.
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
His Grace Vaishnav Charan Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Jai.